clothes on. I should take this off. Okay, looks like somebody's here. How's my sound doing? Whoever's here might have to move in a little bit here after someone leaves. I can move over to a different spot. The place where I usually do it, somebody's already in there. So I can't talk as loud, so I don't know if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me? Can somebody tell me if my volume's okay? I had to turn it down a bit. A little bit. Oh my God. Sorry. Okay. I'll wait till a couple more people get here so I don't have to repeat my whole story, what just happened to me just a little bit ago. So I thought I would come on since I haven't been on for a while. And my voice is really hoarse and I don't have my water with me, so I don't know how long I can hold out. So, can you hear me? Whoever's here? El Sharpo, thank you. You can hear me? Good. All right, thanks. How you doing? You having a happy holiday? Wherever you are. It's cold up here. I'm still in the RV. It's pretty cold in there because I have to keep turning the car on, or the truck part of the RV, to warm it up, to get warm at all. And it's been really cold and raining, constantly raining here, and the wind has been really, really bad. So, anywho, I wanted to talk about this situation that I've been in. I've been parked in my RV in this lot where the local supermarket is and all the little stores around it, and I've moved around the lot to try to not bother anybody, but someone reported me, and the cops just showed up a little while ago, and they gave me a trespass thing. They didn't give me a trespass for now. It's just like a warning, but it's telling me that I can't park in there for a whole year. And this is my home base here. And that's where I shop and get my stuff. So there aren't very many stores because this is a really small town. So it's a bummer that they're doing this. But they were really pretty nice to me and everything. And they wanted my name, and I didn't want to give it to them. They said, you don't have to. Keep getting pop-up things there. They said, you don't have to. So I didn't. So I said, yeah, I don't really want to. But then they pulled up my plates, and they got my name from the plates because it's legal. I have a title. It's registered and everything. But I'm giving this van, practically giving it away. Somebody's going to give me a few $100s for it, and kind of cover some of the expenses that I put into it after I bought it. So it's like $9,000 later, after saving up all that money. I have to start all over again. So I have a GoFundMe up. Thank you for donating, El Sharpo. And boy, I had a hard day today, so I thought I would take a break and come check in here and say I'm still here, and I'm not doing stuff as often as I would like, but I have so much stuff to still do. I'm trying to break down the storage unit that I've had for 3 years now, and my daughter's been helping pay for that, or she's pretty much paying for it, and I have to. There's stuff in there I'm never gonna. I thought I would have another place by now if I was going to, and I don't. So I don't think I should even count on getting another place, because in the Section 8 system that I was on, when I 3 years ago, there was a 5-year wait, and now they're saying it's almost 10 years now. So there's no hope in that. All by design, of course. So I don't know. Is everyone having a happy holiday? And I wish I could be with my family, my daughter and her baby and her husband, my son-in-law. But I can't go to Canada because I'm an outlaw. I'm not allowed in Canada because I'm a felon there. Even though it's a misdemeanor here, and it was a bogus charge anyway. I get all these friggin' bogus charges on me, especially the one I got in Florida, and that's still on my record. So I had to try to figure out how to get that off. And I've been trying to get a hold of the attorney that I had then. This was down in St. Augustine, Florida. But I'm not able to get, I leave messages, but I don't know how to get through to the guy who I need to talk to. Does anyone know? Yeah. What, what is so bad about paganism? I really don't understand that, because in the book, The Ringing Cedars of Russia, that whole series, it's a very good series, but I still think it's the system. Still, I don't know, something about it is. But there's a lot of good things that they point out that are very educational, because it's mostly about homesteading and, raising your children in an environment, better environment. But, and they talk about the pagan holidays that are the precursors to the Christian ones. And they were just celebrating, the rites of passage, marital, different types of rites and rituals that they have, but they're not like satanic or anything like that. So I think paganism's getting a bad rap. I mean, I'm not necessarily promoting it, but I know how you feel, and I know other people like Casey talking about how he used to be part of the Jehovah's Witness thing, and they kind of go in that direction. But the way she talked about it, Anastasia, who is the heroine of the book, she's the one talking about all these different pagan holidays that I think the Christian holidays are based on. So I don't know. And anyway, people are saying, and I believe this, that Jesus wasn't born in December. He was conceived in December, and he was born in December. He was conceived, and he was born in September, 9 months later, like September. So you can look that up and see if you if you believe it. I believe it. I mean, if Jesus really existed, then that's makes sense to me. So, but I don't want to get into religious discussions here, because this is not what my channel's about. It's not about politics or religion or anything, because I don't have any affiliation to any of these things. And I really believe that they're meant to divide us and keep us separated, because you don't believe what I believe and vice versa and all that. So this is their part of their plan, is to keep us all separated and fighting. So that's why I try to encourage people not to get mad, not to stay mad. I mean, acknowledge your feelings, but move on through them, because if you stay stuck in that anger, resentment, just people saying how pissed they are and everything, that's what the system wants, because they're feeding off of that energy, that negative energy, the loosh. Now that's the whole goal. I mean, not just that, but politics and everything, like when this stuff first started, it was like literally changing people's consciousness. And like this friend I was like sort of communicating with that was in Canada, she like, we hadn't talked in like a long time. And the first thing she says, so who are you for? Biden or Trump? It's like, what? Like, she didn't even want to have a conversation about anything. And she just comes out with that. And it's like, bye. And I never talked to her again. I don't want that. I don't buy it, but that did separate us. But she initiated it, and I wasn't going to go along with it. So I don't want to fight with people about what their beliefs are and everything. I mean, I'm questioning everything. I was raised Catholic. I'm not really raised Catholic, but I was put in a Catholic school. My parents weren't really Catholic. They didn't go to church or anything. They sent us to church on Sunday, and I did go to a Catholic school up until 8th grade. I got a better education than if I had been in public school, I'll tell you that. Because I was taking Latin in 7th and 8th grade. Was taking Latin and all the higher classes, the upper maths and stuff like that. Oh my God, these things keep coming up on here. I don't know. Do they block me when they come up? That pop-up ads trying to get me to buy their VPN or whatever it is. So, man, my throat is so dry. I don't have my water. I can't believe I left without my water. But I wanted to get over here before it got dark. It gets dark here a little, like at 4 o'clock, a little bit after 4. So now it's going to start going the other way, and then the days will get longer, but it's really dark and cold and dreary and raining and windy here. And I'm normally down in the desert, or at least down south. I usually go to Quartzsite in Arizona, and then I sometimes, go like to Texas and Florida and stuff. So I've done this for a couple of years, so I'll probably go back to Florida and visit my Cuban buddies down there. Okay, good. Because it pops up on here, and it looks like it would be blocking me, but I don't know what it looks like on the other end, so I don't really know. I'm in a different room, as if you can't tell, at the library, because I have all these books behind me. I'm usually in that pod, but there's people in there now, and they're going to be in there till like 6 o'clock my time. I don't know what time it is where you are, but so oh my God, my throat's so dry. This was crazy to not remember my water. I can't remember. I have ADD so bad from the last couple of years that I never had in my whole life. I was just talking to a friend of mine about that. Well, she has it too. A lot of people I talk to say they have it too, and they've never had it in their life. So does anyone here have that coming on? They're having having ADD symptoms. Like I look at a clock and I look away, and it's like I just looked at the clock and I don't know what time it is. And just all kind of things like that. Like I can't hold the thought like I walk over to get something, and then I'm like, what am I coming over here to get? I forgot already, within seconds even. So anyone else having this problem? I'm so glad I didn't have this problem when I was younger, because that's the thing I was talking about with my friend, that like I never had to study for tests and stuff like that. Never. Whatever I learned in the classroom, and that was it. And I retained it. But now I couldn't do that. I don't even know that I could go into a classroom and go to school and do everything you have to do in school. Even though I was an A student, 4.0, I graduated with honors, top of my class. I was, up on the stage and all that nonsense in the indoctrination centers. So did anyone ever go to a private school? I never did. So after I got out of 8th grade, I begged my mom to let me go to public school. So 9th grade was a breeze for me. It was so simple. It was like kindergarten for me, because I was so advanced, having gone to a Catholic school. And even though I took advanced classes, advanced math and another language, I took French. And oh my God, that was a nightmare, that teacher. I had some nice French teachers, but this first one I had, I'm surprised I didn't just give up on it altogether. I was kind of shy about speaking the language and feeling silly or whatever, that I couldn't say it right, I was just self-conscious about it. So the teacher came over and she put her heel into my foot and said, "Say it louder." She abused me into speaking it louder. And she kept digging and digging for her heel further into my foot, saying, "Say it louder, say it louder." Can you believe teachers get away with this shit? And this was like a long time ago. This is like, I don't know how long ago it was. It's a long time ago. That was more than 50, like 50 years ago. And it's probably gotten worse now, but this was the nuns. I don't know if anybody ever had any experience with these nuns, but they're pretty evil, I guess. I don't know, the whole Catholic religion seems to me. And we got the big PP at the top with all their riches and gold, all their books and all their cool, stuff. The stuff I would want to read would be down in their library underground where they keep all this stuff from us. So I think I tried to order a couple books here. I have to get pretty much every time I want a book, I have to get it through interlibrary loan. So I'm trying to get The Bog and The Holographic Universe, which is by the same author. And I can't remember his name right now, but he wrote both of those books. So I'm trying to get them, and so far I haven't gotten them yet, but one of them they might be able to get for me. So I'll just do one at a time, but I can't wait too long because I'm going to be leaving here like at the end of the year. I'll probably leave like right after New Year's because I got to get all my stuff out of storage. I got to sell it or give it away or, whatever. I've been giving away most of it, and a couple of things I've sold, but not a whole lot, but I'd like to. Anybody need anything? Might have. If you pay the shipping, I'll give it to you. I mean, some of it's heavy stuff. Like I have a Pilates reformer, which is so heavy it'd be crazy to try to ship something like that. So I'm going to see if I can take it down to the fitness center. And there's like a actual girl that does Pilates around here. So that somebody just told me today at the Refillery, it's called. Then she said try there. So I'm going to give that a shot and see. And but I've been taking stuff to the thrift stores and just giving it to people and just let it go. That's part of my journey, is what it's about, is letting go and trying to get out of this freaking hell realm we're in here. I think we're in. I don't want to be here, really. I mean, the only thing really keeping me here is my daughter and the baby. Levi is his first Christmas. He's 10 and a half months old. So he's doing good. He's starting to get around. He's crawling. He's not yet walking, but he's just 10 months. And when my daughter was 10 months, hi, Jeannie, how you doing? When my daughter was 10 months, she said her first words. He hasn't done that. It seems like he's kind of saying it a little bit, but not quite. So the first thing my daughter said at 10 months old was mama. And what's cool about it is that she said it on Mother's Day. Her very first words came out on Mother's Day. So, I was happy about that. Yeah, that's Levi. So her name is Delilah. So we got these like Hebrew Bible names going on. I don't think she planned it that way because she doesn't read the Bible and she's not into it, but that's the name she chose. And I like the names that end in AH, like Isaiah and Jeremiah and just Savannah. I like that they end in AH. So her name is spelled Delilah. She was born on the summer solstice, and her whole name is Delilah Summer Rain. My last name is Rain, Some know. So did everybody have a nice Christmas? Did anybody do anything special? Did you get to be with your family and have fun? I wish I could have been. I watched other people having fun with their family, and that's cool, but not me. But someday. So, and some of you know about my ordeal at the border, Canadian border, not even trying to get in, what they did to me. They tried to, if anybody knows here, they tried to insist me wearing a mask and I wouldn't do it. So they put me in a cell, and then they called Homeland Security on me, who came and interrogated me for almost an hour. And I never put the mask on. I got praised for it too from the Homeland Security. 2 agents were interrogating me for that time, and he just praised me for staying true to my convictions. That I was that strong that they didn't back me down and scare me. So that was kind of cool. Anybody else got any stories like that? I want people to come on and share their stories, and any kind of oppression, or like if they feel like they're targeted in any way or anything. Like, I want this to feel like a place where they can come and speak freely. I'm not going to say SAFE, play space. I won't use that word because they want us to use it. If people only knew how easily manipulated you can be when you're in fear. So my whole goal is to be fearless. And I'm facing these individual fears. Some things I don't even know that I have this fear until I confront it or something. But like a little while back in the summer, I had already decided to confront my fears. I was asking people about different things, about snakes, because that was the fear I was dealing with. So I said I wanted to meet a snake to get beyond this. And I was actually looking for snakes everywhere I went, and they just never seemed to show up. And then all of a sudden, this guy I run into at the Watkins Falls Park, where all the waterfalls are. It's so beautiful, and the negative ions there are so great. You can see it on my video. And then oh no, wait a minute. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. And then he had this, what's it called? A banana python, this big yellow snake that was this big around, and he was about 5 feet long. And he let me hold him, and I wasn't scared at all. You'd think having a fear of snakes and holding a big snake like that, I'd be freaking out. And I wasn't. I actually liked the thing. I felt good with it. I actually fell in love with this snake. It was so cool. And then this big old burly guy comes over. I'm still holding the snake, and Gary, the guy that owns it, is talking to him, and he's talking about the snake. I go, "Here, you want to hold him?" He goes, "No, no, no, that's okay." So this big burly guy is afraid of a snake. So that showed me I got over that fear. So I got to just keep confronting my fears so they don't keep me from moving forward. So that's my snake story. And you can see the snake on my channel. There's a video of the snake, of me holding him, a short video of me just holding the snake. And I was not afraid at all. I'm surprised I wasn't afraid. I felt no fear at all. You'd think I'd have been afraid. I mean, it was a little awkward trying to hold him at first because he's heavy. He was big, really heavy. He was at least 5 feet long, but he was curled up, and I just held him. It was just really cool. So I'd like to have a snake like that, but he said it wouldn't be conducive to being in a vehicle because they have to have a special tank and heat, conditions to keep them in. So it wouldn't be okay. And I, consider cats, they're too hard to control. A dog would be more controllable to get in and out of the vehicle. Now I have to go back to a van. I have to give up my whole RV and start all over again. So I got to save up more money and try to get it whenever I can. It's kind of slow. It's going to take me a long time again, I guess. It was just a pretty old snake. He was gorgeous. So then and then somebody says, who said this to me? One of my subs says to me, because I was talking about eggs and always seeking out eggs, and somebody says, why don't you have a chicken in your car? Sure, a chicken in my car with all the chicken shit and all the, just God, I can't believe somebody would even say that. So anywho, but I was thinking it'd be nice to have a little dog that I could put in a backpack, and doesn't doesn't take up a whole bunch of space in the car. I ran into this guy up at the in that lot where I just got banned from, where I'm trespassed for 1 whole year out of there. And that's the place where I go to shop. I can't park the RV in this lot because somebody turned me in, these freaking rat finks. See something, say something bullshit, like rat your neighbor out. I mean, at least the cops were nice to me. I mean, I've had some run-ins, the cops being mean to me, but lately they haven't been. They've been nice. And I haven't even had any incidences. And I was just thinking that, like, oh, I haven't had any issues with cops. And then today there's the cops out there. But there's three different cops from three different cars and they all came from the same police department, I assume. Because this is a small town. This isn't a big town. But at least they were nice to me and everything. So, and the one cop, his name said K. No, I can't remember. Olson, K. Olson, and that was my old doctor's name. Her name was Carrie Olson, and so I told the cop, I said, "Oh, I used to have a doctor named K for Carrie Olson, the same spelling, same name," and I said, he says, "Well, what do you mean?" I says, "Well, you never know these days with, and I didn't mean anything, but he says to me, they all laugh because they knew what I meant, talking about the tranny situation. And he says, "But I have been taken for a woman." And I could see that he had like sort of soft feet, but I wouldn't have accused him. I wasn't accusing him of that. I was just referring to him as a woman with the same name. I didn't say, but that was, so they were all kind of laughing about that. So yeah, put the chicken next to the cow, right? Then I can have my raw milk every day. So that was another issue in this parking lot where I'm banned from now, is where I get my raw milk from the store there. And lately they had issues with it getting there and not showing up. And I thought, oh no, am I going to lose my raw milk connection now? Because there's 2 other stores that are like 20 miles away in Bellingham where I could get it. And if, the Bellingham Farmers Market is shut down for the winter, but they'll have the farmers market every 3rd Saturday. So I have to wait. Like, I don't know if I'll be here that long or not. As soon as I get freed up, I have to get my my storage unit all cleared out before I can move on and go south. Like, I'm usually, like, the last couple winters I spent in Quartzsite, Arizona, at the, for Christmas, on Christmas, they have the Lit Cactus event. And that's where they light up a saguaro cactus. You know how the cactus is sort of like this. And at the bottom, at the base of the cactus, they light it from the bottom. So it looks really cool because it's uplit from underneath and it's against the totally black sky of the desert. And then so that looks cool just in itself. And then there's music, like a big drumming circle. And so I got my drums, my cowbell, I don't know what happened to my tambourine, but I got these little shakers and little clackers and different little musical instruments that I can play. And nobody sings, but I dance. So does anyone ever go there that might be here? I don't know. So, I don't know what's going on here. But I don't know. So I just thought I would just stop in and say hi and see who's around. It's probably, kind of everybody's busy for the holidays, so I wasn't really expecting too much. But so thanks for everyone coming in. And I really have to go get my water because my throat is so dry. I need to. You can hear my voice is really hoarse. But I've been trying to my skin's getting really, really nice and soft and dewy from doing the plasma water, the sea salted water. So that's like a good thing. Although I still have some of the Morgellons cuts. Like these are more like getting like scars, I think. I hope it clears up. Shit, this is awful. So I was hoping that I would create a space for people who want to come talk about that and discuss what they're going through, maybe share some of their protocols with people. And some of these protocols you could do anyway, whether you have Morgellons or not. And maybe maybe you have it and don't even know you have it. So it's just a place where people can come and share their experience. And then maybe people realize, oh my God, that's what's happening to me. Maybe there's people that don't even know about it and could use, sharing among people to help them feel more comfortable to fit in. Because a lot of people are going through stuff that they think they're alone in, and they don't realize there's a lot of people going through this stuff too. They just don't know where to go to talk about it. In most places, you can't talk about it. I don't have anybody in real life where I'm at that I can talk about Morgellons. I could talk about some other things a little bit. So my one friend, I could talk so far, but then when I start talking about anything too far out there, she can't wrap her head around some of the things like 9/11 and going to the moon and all that stuff. She can't handle that. So then I have to just back off and not talk about it. But her husband does know. So I says, you should be listening to Bobby and listen to what he has to say, some things that you could learn from. So that's weird. That would be weird to be in a situation like that. And that's what's happening. There's usually just one in the family like me, or maybe you, that is like the crazy one, that you don't fit in with all the narrative and all that stuff going on, and then you become the outcast, and then you're not welcome, and or people just don't know how to talk to you. They can't handle your energy. So, and for the most part, I think most of the people that I know of met in real life from my channel and fellow YouTubers, up to 14 now that I've gone to visit. So if I'm coming through your town, maybe I'll stop by and see ya. So let me know where you are if you want me to come by, and we can go have lunch or do something, find something to do, go some event or whatever. So thank you very much for showing up. Happy New Year. I don't know what we got to call this now, because we're finding stuff out that ain't like we've been told. So we've been lied to bigly, bigly. So, okay. I think I'm just going to have to get off right now because my throat is just too much, really. I have to go get in the water. I don't like drinking out of the fountain. But I'll tell you this before I get off, that I found out about the water, the bottled water now. So it's bad enough we can't drink out of the tap. We got to pay for water in a plastic bottle. Now the water in plastic bottles, I found out 126 brands are putting lithium in the bottled water. In Brita and Pure filters, and I think even Berkey their filters are adding aluminum to the filtered water. You could look it up on their site. At least Brita and Pure have it on their site that it shows how much aluminum is in there after the filtering process, what you get. So I'm thinking that I knew I was affected by lithium because of the way I was walking and the vertigo and all that stuff. And then I found that out. So that could be a source for that. And also aluminum, which causes Alzheimer's, and it affects your brain. That's all these nano particles crossing into the blood-brain barrier that shouldn't be in us. So this is what all these cuts are, all the heavy metals coming back out of me, cutting through my skin and causing whatever they're doing to us. So it's weird, doesn't happen to everybody. And it said, I also heard, and I don't know how true this is, but it said that all people with Morgellons have Lyme, but not all people who have Lyme have Morgellons. So we're like doubly affected. And I think we're targeted because of our information and our empathy. And because it's usually intelligent people that get it, mostly empathic people that are being targeted. And got to find a new word for that. If anybody can help me come up with a word for, that TI term that they put out there. So I got to find new hobo code. So, or say it backwards, or, switch up the syllables or something, and you have to figure out what I'm saying until you know what I'm saying. Till you realize, once I establish a certain word to mean a different word, so I don't get the, Al Gore on my case, then, because I am on their thing, they're not allowing my channel to grow. I've been 4 years having my channel, and I can't even get to 1,000 yet. Because I said I didn't want to be monetized. I didn't want to take their dirty money. So they're not going to promote me because they're not going to get revenue for it. So I don't know. So I'm just kind of stuck at 800 and something forever, probably, who knows. And I don't know, really want to go on to another platform because they're kind of all starting to be the same. I don't know. I don't know where the best place to go if I did go to a different platform. So, okay, I don't know when I'll be back to Michigan. I was there. Did I see anybody in Michigan? No. I saw people in California. Was there someone in Oregon? You would think there would be, but it was California, Texas, a couple in Texas, Florida. Where, I don't know. Oh, yeah. So, and Jake the asshole came to Washington and went to Alki Beach, but I don't even follow him anymore. I'm not even friends with him because he's so close-minded. He thinks he knows everything. You don't want to hear him. He didn't. I was trying to share information with him, and he just started. I don't know. He just started acting weird. So, and then he's just stuck into the whole NFL is rigged thing. Like, how many times you need to say it? We already know. We don't need it to be repeated. So, but I met up with him, and he isn't like I thought. He kind of was a disappointment for me. So I'm not saying anything evil about him. I don't mean that. He wasn't who I thought he was. And other people have said, I've heard other people say that too. So anyhow, and so man, alrighty. So okay, I hope everyone is doing well. And I don't know if anyone here is doing the plasma, but that's always going to be the thing I promote. Is the Celtic. I use the Celtic sea salt because I don't really trust other salts. And I want to get this one from Darko's channel from the Sea of Cortez. So that's a different salt there too. But they all have minerals in them. But I kind of think I got suspicious about the Himalayan salt, like it might be dyed and somehow corrupted. And I just think the Celtic is going to be better. So that's what I feel the best with. So intuitively, that's what I do. And that's basically what I base a lot of stuff on. But unfortunately, my intuition failed me when it came to buying that RV. And I just was so excited when I saw it. And I thought that, it was just the kind I wanted, but it just had so many problems in it. And he didn't tell me about these problems. And so I think the accident happened like some kind of divine intervention or something to stop me from putting more money into it. Like it would have cost, it was like the money pit just kept, I just don't have that kind of money. And then also the cost of gas is pretty high. It was only getting a low amount of mileage. Like I just wasn't aware of how much is involved in an RV. So I got in over my head and then realized that I can't afford to have it, So now hopefully I can find a Toyota like van, like full-size van, conversion van or cargo van, whatever you call it. So that's my goal. So I'm going to be putting that out into the universe to manifest. So I'm using my powers, superpowers that we all have. Don't think you're not powerful. And don't be afraid to brag about yourself or stuff you do. Don't let people try to shame you out of that. So I'll leave you with that message. So maybe I'll come on in a couple days and whenever I can again. So I got a lot of stuff to still do and then head out of here because it's really, really cold. I don't know if you heard that wind and it wasn't it was louder and real than it showed up on the video. It was wickedly scary. It was banging all the bungee cords were banging all, and I'm inside, it's like in a tin can here, and all the bang, bang, bang from all the weather, the wind was just so wicked, it was crazy. And then it started doing it again last not last night, but the night before. It was like really, and that was part of the reason that the cops came, and I got this trespass for a year to not go in that law. I moved, I was moving around, but I moved into a space that the subway what is her she's like the manager there, and she's the one that gave me a hard time about it. She didn't even ask what my situation was. I moved away from the space so that because she thought I was going to block her truck. I talked to the truck guy. He says, "You're fine." And it's like once a week. So that's her job, is to, make sure nobody blocks them from getting a delivery. But they weren't blocked, and I moved. And then I moved back there because the wind started again. And then I moved the next day and out of there. But I'm parked on the public street now, and they still gave me a notice of trespass that I can't go in that lot now. That doesn't seem right. But they told me I could be on the street where I'm at because it's a public street. I says, because I was saying, how can they tell me not to be here? He goes, no, you can be there. But he says, normally it's like you're only supposed to be there for 24 hours. He says, but we're not going to like press it. So they said I could stay there where I'm at and then move on from there. I don't know if they're going to come. I don't think they're going to. He says, I think he said, we can't tow your RV away because that's your house, that's your home, and everything's in it. All my stuff's in it. Everything that I need and own is in that. I mean, I still have stuff in storage, but I'm getting rid of 3-bedroom house full of furniture that I have, and pots and pans and clothes and suitcases and appliances and Pilates machines and all these expensive things I have. Like I have these 2 latex mattresses that cost over $2,000 a piece. I just gave away one to my friend. So it's just, it's just thousands. My whole life is just going away. But that's part of my goal, is to cut loose from this hell realm. It's not where I want to be anymore. So I'm not going to purposely unalive myself or anything like that, but I wouldn't doubt if the system does it. So if I disappear, this is documentation. It wasn't me. So, okie dokes. I'm out of here, guys. Hope you have a good rest of the week, and I will. If I don't see you in the next couple of days, I'll see you next year. Okay. Much love to y'all, everyone around the world.